Hey there guys, I am the Six Machine and welcome back to another Warhammer video. Up today is a legion I actually quite liked playing back when I played Heresy more regularly, but lore-wise, I have to be honest, I find a little bit boring. They also suffer the somewhat embarrassment of having their Primarch being the first to get killed in the Heresy series, and so yes, you may have guessed it, today it is the turn of the Iron Hands. Again, they only show off 2 of their rules, so this will be a bit of a short one like the Blood Angels, but once again, we get to see their very cool, really quite powerful Legion trait, which for the Iron Hands is called the Medusas Scales. And this ability is really quite amazing actually. It means that for your non-vehicle units, enemy shooting attacks are made at -1 strength. So that is strength 3 bolters, strength 7 missile launchers, strength 4 heavy bolters. It's not quite as good as being toughness 5, as it means strength 9 weapons can still double your toughness for instant death, but it is pseudo toughness 5 effectively, and it means that bolters will be wounding you on 5s, heavy bolters on 4s, and when the eventual Solar Auxilia style armies come with their strength 3 guns, they will now be wounding you on 6s instead of 5s. So against lots of the light anti-infantry level firepower, this is really a significant boost to your durability. If your model has the vehicle keyword, it instead gains the It Will Not Die 6+ special rule, and this essentially lets your vehicles at the start of your turn, I believe, roll a dice, and on a 6+, they regain a hull point. It's also really nicely future-proofed against any other buffs by stating that this adds to any other examples of It Will Not Die. So if your vehicle already has It Will Not Die 6+ from another buff or something else, then it gets boosted to a 5+ instead. It's not super reliable by any means, but it's a pretty decent way to regen a hull point or 2 over the course of a battle, and if you go heavy on vehicles in your Iron Hands lists, this will definitely be noticeable when your Land Raiders and Predators and Sicarans just keep on trucking as your opponent tries to put them down. So I think in general this is a fairly solid rule. It seems very well aimed at keeping your infantry alive against anti-infantry firepower, and your vehicles much sturdier at trucking through chip damage from guns like autocannons and plasma guns. They also show us the Silver Iron Will Warlord trait for the Iron Hands, and what this does is that your Warlord and a unit he's joined is effectively immune to any characteristic modifiers. So things like Radphage, which I believe reduces your toughness, Fear, and any others that may come up over the course of the game, you can just flat out ignore them. It also seems to affect leadership as well in terms of protecting those characteristics, so this is going to be great against various armies that may stack leadership style buffs or stack fear kind of mechanics, like the Night Lords with their whole shtick basically being imposing fear and making your army suffer morale penalties, so these guys are going to be really strong against that. The trait also has a slightly different but very cool take on the reaction adjustments that we've seen in the other Warlord traits. This one means that your army cannot make reactions in the movement phase, but instead you can make an extra reaction in either the shooting or the assault phase. So it gives you a bit of a restriction in one way, but then lets you be more flexible in how you use your additional bonus reaction depending on when you need it the most. And I have to say, I actually do really like this. I think it's going to be a really nice sneaky way to try and make your opponent second guess themselves as they wait for you to potentially pop out that second reaction when they're getting ready to either shoot or assault you, and they won't quite know when it's coming. Whereas if they know that you've got an extra reaction in the assault phase or in the movement phase or whatever, they can kind of prepare for it and plan around it. So this is going to put your opponent on the back foot somewhat, which I think is a really nice addition and a really nice sort of change to the usual you just get an extra reaction that we've seen in the other Warlord traits. Overall, I do like it. I think it's not a bad trait. The first part is admittedly kind of just okay, and it will be really useful sometimes and completely not useful at all against other armies, but I do think the second part could make it well worth taking in terms of just playing some mind games with your opponent with that extra reaction. So there we go, that is the Iron Hands. They didn't cover too much today, but they do have a solid bit of durability from their Legion trait, as is fitting the army in the fluff, and a surprisingly tactical little Warlord trait that I do think will help to mess with your enemy's battle plans and give you a bit of an advantage when you're going into either the shooting or the assault phases. So there is a lot to like here, and if you want a durable army, the Iron Hands do look like they're going to offer a good amount of that. But as always, what do you think of these rules? Are the Iron Hands going to be the immovable object of heresy, or do you think there will be an even better Legion defensively? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more Warhammer content from me, but until next time, I'll catch you later guys.